and welcome to the Doom the Dark Ages preview.
Huber.
We're Easy Allies. I'm Michael Huber, joined by Daniel Bloodworth.
Pretty hyped to be doing that this morning.
Yeah. Got to get my hands on Doom. I played like 2-ish hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice little chunk. And the early parts of the game, they streamlined it a little bit. I get to play like the beginning, but they did remove a couple cutscenes here and there, and then like we skipped a level. So there was like the first couple levels minus like one in between.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the funny thing sometimes, like when you do a preview and then you go back and you play a final game, because we just finished Split Fiction.
Yeah.
And like I did that preview event. I played 3 hours of that preview event, but they were spread out across that game, man.
Yeah.
Like I saw the very beginning, and I saw something that was pretty close to the end. And,
Totally.
Yeah, so who knows?
Holy shit. Doom, dude. A+. I'm a if you don't know who the hell I am, I'm a Doom enthusiast. I've been playing since the MS-DOS floppy disks, the originals.
Heck yeah, shareware version.
Yeah, exactly. played all the Dooms. Doom is my past, present, and future. You know what I mean? It is just a constant in my life. The originals, anytime they re-release them, Doom 3, waiting for Doom 4 that was going to be like Call of Duty, but they, changed it and then became Doom 2016.
Somebody got a vision.
Yeah.
Somebody was like, this is not the way.
Yes.
This is not where Doom is going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the last thing was Doom the Ancient Gods, which not enough people have played. You got to get in there. Play Ancient Gods Part 1 and 2. But that brings us to Doom the Dark Ages, which is now a prequel to Doom 2016.
Right, all that cryptic lore you've been reading about.
And that's exactly what they said, Blood. That's a good place to start. They said all of those Codex lore entries are now cutscenes.
Got it.
So there's a heavy emphasis on story this time around, which may make you nervous a little bit. But if you've been paying attention, the lore of Doom has been a big part of 2016 and Eternal. There's a ton of lore to dig into just in those games.
And the old school ones kind of had like the level like paragraph or whatever before you started.
Yeah. And the cutscenes aren't too long, but I enjoyed what I saw. Just, checking in with different factions, checking in with Hell and the Makers, and the Sentinel. Like, we're seeing all of these factions, and I think it's going to be cool, actually, by having a lot of story in the prequel, because I think it's going to recontextualize 2016 and Eternal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
even now, just after this preview, seeing a lot of these things that I've only heard about in the other ones is definitely going to change those playthroughs. I think for the better, honestly.
I mean, because this is essentially the reason why the demons fear you, right?
Yeah.
Essentially, this is the story. This is what
Doom
you did
Slayer.
to make Hell afraid of you.
Yes, unhinged. The only thing I'll say about the story is I'm serious, no spoilers. It's just Doom, not just Doom, but I'm not gonna go into too much. You start out under control. You're controlled. You're being controlled. You have this device on you. And you keep trying to there's a moment where the Slayer is trying to break free of it. He kind of comes to, and then they raise the power back up and lock him down a little bit. He's got this device on him. So you're definitely a tool in the beginning of this game. And I liked that, and especially knowing where things are eventually going to go. But coming off of Eternal, 2016 Eternal, and now Dark Ages, they are three pretty different games. If you had played Eternal, you know that it was all about mobility. You are bouncing around in that game. You never stop moving. You use the grapple. It's all about, as you're moving in Eternal, figuring out how you're going to counter enemies on the ground, where they are. You're always doing all this these strategies in your head as you're moving
momentum.
Around.
This kind of keep the combo going kind of thing, essentially.
Dark Ages, their whole tagline is stand and fight. And I know that was kind of freaking people out right away. It was like, oh, I like moving around. I don't like moving slow. Like, you're not moving slow. This game is not slow. You have your shield, and you can consistently, very consistently, the cooldown is not that hard. Dash. And the dash is far. The dash is fast. You can do it in the air and slam down on enemies.
Nice.
So you can shield bash quite a bit to move around. Even enemies will be up there. You'll lock onto them and dash up to them. So you're still moving. And you don't want to stop too much because, this is a difficult game. Doom is very difficult. I played on, they were stoked. I played on Ultraviolence. Nightmare's the hardest, which is insane. Booted it up to Ultraviolence, and it was really hard. You'll see some footage. I'm dying. I die. And, I was under time pressure, so there was even one encounter where I had to turn it down. Right. I was like, dude, I don't have time for this. I don't have time I don't have time to lock in to this encounter. But yeah, so the shield is the main new tool. And you can shield bash with it to close the gap. When you kill lesser enemies with it, there's an explosion. So there'll be 5 or 6 grunts there shooting at you, and if you shield bash into them, they all just explode. It is so satisfying, Bloodworth. It is now one of my favorite things to do of the year. The game is not even out yet, and it is one of my favorite moves of 2025.
Is it a good replacement for glory kills? Because they changed that, right?
Yes. So there are less of those. There are less glory kills, but they are more meaningful. You really want to get those.
Okay.
Because that gives you health. And when you push yourself, when you raise the difficulty up a little bit, health doesn't regen, you got to find it. So getting those kills on bigger...
That again, vision.
Yeah.
Don't put regen health in your Doom.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. So So bigger enemies. One of the main enemies, I don't know the name of it, but one of the first normal bigger enemy is kind of like a bigger imp. Mm-hmm. Looks like just kind of a bigger imp, kind of longer, taller, bigger. It'll throw things at you, and yeah, just it'll come at you and slash. So those were kind of the first enemies where it's okay, I got to get the glory kill on these, get some health back. With the shield, you can also throw it. It'll cut through trash mobs. It'll just cut them right in half. And for bigger enemies, it'll lock them down. So you can throw it in them, and the shield will just be chainsawing in them, and it'll stun them. So then you can either deal with other enemies, or you can focus fire and try to take the enemy out. The shield can also be used for puzzles as a tool. You smash through barriers. You can use it to grapple up places. You'll throw it, and then you'll go to it. And then lastly, the parries. Parries are a big part of this game because when they say stand and fight, and everyone was nervous about is it going to be a lot slower? Are you just going to tank and stand there the whole game? Standing and fight, from what I played and what they were kind of hinting at, is for the biggest enemies.
Okay.
So Cyber Demon rolls up, you want to just charge the beast, guns blazing, and it'll attack, and now it becomes a duel where it's attacking, you parry, you melee, you parry, you shoot, parry. So you're shooting, meleeing, and parrying combo versus the bigger enemies. So that's a lot of the rhythm of some of those more intense enemies, those bigger encounters. The melee. I got to use the fist and the flail.
Nice.
2 different melees. You can only have one equipped at a time.
Right.
So you have to choose.
But there's more than that, right? There's a few different
I only saw the
weapons.
2. I think there's the skill tree showed there's a third one. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I don't know. Melee, huge.
I think it might be in the trailers. I think we might have seen it. So yeah, that's why I'm thinking.
Yeah, shoot. Yeah, I didn't see it. Melees, another thing you need to think about. So Doom Eternal, a lot of that is carrying over of kind of not the rock, paper, scissor vibe, but enemy, your tools and how to best use them in any given fight. There really is a lot of strategy. It isn't just running, guns blazing, shoot, 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 kill, kill, kill. Like, there is quite a lot to think about in these encounters. You know, do I throw the shield? Do I bash? Because things are on cooldown. The melee is really important, Blood. The melee is on a pretty good cooldown. There are pickups all over the battlefield that'll recharge a melee immediately.
Okay.
Otherwise, it will recharge over time. But melees, you kill an enemy with a melee, it drops universal ammo. All your guns get ammo. So no, you know, picking up this ammo, that ammo, this ammo, it just is streamlined. It felt way better. If you do all of your melees in a row, it's like a combo. And the final hit is like a more powerful hit. Nice. So yeah, the flail was just so awesome. You're like, boom, boom. You just feel the hits of this game, the impact, the sound, the gore, all of it is just top tier, A+, 10 out of 10. What else? So I have all my notes here. Yeah, when you stagger an enemy, they'll drop health. So that's like the glory kill. You know, you'll stagger them and then you'll get in there for the kill. And then the melee drops the ammo. So that was kind of the foot combat. The first level is a little more linear. There are secrets everywhere. You have your map. It's really easy to use. And yeah, the secrets they were listed on the map. I don't know if that was for the demo or if you can, like, if they do just remain hidden. But yeah, there's secrets all over the map. Little things too, just like, you know, smash this wall, go underwater, find another path, like find a little secret. It was like placeholders, so it was like, you found a codex entry, coming soon. This was really funny. Great. And the action figures as well return.
Nice.
So yeah, that was kind of one of the earlier foot levels. And then I got to do a mech level.
Oh, right. Yeah, because that's the mechs and the dragons, right? And they said that they're not just one-off set pieces. Okay.
So I got to do the mech, and it felt really good. It was really nice. It breaks up the action. The impact is insane. I mean, you're fighting big demons, and you have your melee, and you're trying to build up. When you do melee damage, you build up a special move. And there's 2 ticks of that. You could use 1 tick for like a lighter special move or wait for 2 and it is insanely strong. They just explode in blood and guts. And then also a rocket punch. You can like throw your one of your hands as like a ranged tool. Yeah. And it's a tool as well. It can like, you know, shatter walls. You progress forward. And then it's just big on dodging. It is a little slower because you're in a giant mech, so it's a little slower than the foot combat. It's really impactful though because you start out like going up to the mech, and then it's like, you know, I love those shifts in perspective where it's like, oh, I was down there, and it's like these little tiny guys and little tanks and stuff, and now I'm just like towering mech. But yeah, the main loop was like meleeing, building up the charges, and then dodging. If you get a perfect dodge, you're stronger, so you're encouraged to like get dodges really well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That mission was like 5 to 10 minutes all I played, but I'm pretty impressed with the mechs, really into it. So I'm looking forward to more of that. And then I did the Dragon Bloodworth. I'm not really sold on the dragon, actually.
Okay.
A little nervous,
good to know.
But full disclosure, there might be a little bit of a learning curve here.
Yeah.
Because, so you're on the dragon, and it controls really well, like when you're progressing forward. You know, you can boost and rise up and rise down, and then when you're boosting, your machine gun fire is even faster, so it encourages you to like boost. You know, if you're just kind of going slow, it's like but if you're boosting, it's super fast. So it's but the stages are kind of set up where it was like there were moments where you were going through the environment, you know, traditionally, really fast, really cool, dodging things, shooting things. But then it turned into like these arena fights, and I had to take out these gunships, and everything is really cool conceptually. It's like, okay, take out the gunships and then land on the gunship and go inside.
Nice.
And blow it up from the inside and then go back on your dragon. So it's like cool little breaks and cool variety too, because you're on the dragon, then you're on foot, and it's cool to just like, again, the perspective of everything, like taking out this giant airship and then like landing on it and going in. But the fighting versus the airships, it's like there's these turrets and you lock on. And when you're locked on, you go into like this stationary mode and you have to dodge for your gun to be empowered to really do damage to the airship.
Okay.
But I kept like dodging and just kind of kept hitting like these invisible barriers. Like I would just like go to the end of the screen and I'd be like, no, like dodge more, and it was just really weird. And then I eventually started to get it too because I saw the visual feedback of the enemy fire. So I was like, okay, do I need to dodge a different way? So I started to realize that. But even then, it just felt a little...
So the zoomed in view specifically.
This kind of lock on and kind of just dodge it. You're just like dodging the bullets and like shooting the turrets. And I wasn't 100% on it. It wasn't bad, but yeah, that element didn't have me as hyped as the rest. Because dude, I mean, the ground combat is legit 10 out of freaking 10, and the mechs were really cool. But yeah, just the dragons. We'll see. Again, could be a learning curve. Full disclosure.
Did it feel like they gave you the first dragon mission, or do you?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So we'll see how that evolves. And again, conceptually, the idea of it all is really cool, and I think that's really important. So gotta wait for the final game and see how that all plays out, and be a little more acclimated to it and learn it. Yeah. All right, some of the weapons blood.
Yeah.
Combat shotgun. Obviously amazing. You can upgrade the weapons. You get gold, and there's a shop.
Okay.
So you find gold.
What is the shop?
The shop is like
machine? Is it a dude? What is it?
It's like an altar.
Okay.
Like a shrine altar thing.
Shrine.
Yeah.
So you stick your gun on the shrine.
Yeah.
And then you put some quarters in.
It just goes to a menu.
Okay,
You interact with it. But there's a couple currencies. There's 3 different currencies. There's gold, amulets, and then one other one I didn't get. So a lot of the later upgrades are locked behind the more rare materials.
Okay, got it.
But the earlier ones are just gold. You can upgrade your shield, each individual gun, and your melee weapons. And for the guns, a lot of the upgrades you'd have to choose between 2. So for example, like...
Oh, okay, got it, yeah.
Yeah, so one of them was for the shotgun. It was when you shoot the enemies, they'll start burning. So you have like incendiary ammo. And then you could choose the perks. It was one or the other. One of them was enemies will throw out more armor when they're on fire. So you'll get more armor. Or when you kill a flaming enemy, they'll explode and do more damage to everyone around.
Yeah.
So you have to make those decisions, which I love. This game is all about choices and strategies and thinking as much as it is about running and gunning and standing and fighting. There was the Shredder machine gun, just felt like a really cool heavy machine gun. There was the Impaler. That's another thing. A lot of these guns, there are 2 variants. So like shotgun, combat shotgun.
Right.
You just like push a button and it'll swap to the other one. You know, you have your shotgun, push X, it'll go to your double barrel shotgun or whatever. It's the weapon class, Bloodworth.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Impaler was like a bolt gun, stake gun, shooting these big like headshots do more damage. There was the Accelerator, which was like the plasma rifle. And then the other one was like double power. That gun was really good. It was like just getting everyone electrocuted and just doing a lot of damage. There was the Pulverizer, which you were stoked on in the trailers, the one with the bones.
Right.
That one is so cool.
Grinds up the skulls, right?
That gun is such good crowd control because the crosshair is like this wide.
Right.
So it just like shoots everyone. It's super good. And then of course, the Super Shotgun is just the GOAT. I mean, that's my bread and butter. You give me a shield bash into a double barrel shotgun point blank, like that's it. That's me. That's my strats. One of the other main things too, again, really good variety, really good pacing of Doom because you've got, your cutscenes, which didn't feel too intrusive or too long. They were well paced out from the big chunk I played. You have your dragon, you have your mech, you have your linear levels, like maze-like old Doom classic style, and then you have these big open environments. Blood. That was the last part of the demo I played. Was a big open environment, and it said, "Hey, close 5 hell gates. Go ahead." So then you are free to do it in any order, go any way you want. Really, really fun. Freedom. You can go little alternate paths to find loot. Like all that stuff feels so meaningful. You can find extra lives. Lives are really cool because you can come back in a fight.
Right.
You could hold up to like 5. I saw on the ticker or whatever. You could have 5 extra lives. If you die, if you fully go down, checkpoints really generous. It's just like beginning of the fight wherever you were. But some of those fights can be pretty long because in these free roam environments, this is where I turn the difficulty down. There are commander fights. Dude, this is some bullshit, and I love it. This is some BS that I love. The commanders, you have to lower the morale by killing the enemies around the commander. The commander is invincible until you lower the morale all the way, and then the commander will become vulnerable, and then you have to fight a freaking mini boss who has its own health bar. So it was crazy. You're fighting like 100 enemies. I mean, enemies are coming out of the woodwork. They're spawning in. They're up here. They're down there. You're dashing around. You're using all of the health that's like already in the combat arena. You're trying to just survive. Then they throw a freaking cyber demon at you before the commander. I was like, this is crazy. So yeah, really, really intense fights, blood, and just like so visceral. Like, I just kept wanting to kill, dude. I just kept wanting to rip and tear until it was done, blood. Like, that's it. And the soundtrack, a little more subtle, blood. Maybe not subtle, maybe a little more restrained. It's not 24/7. There's like a lot of quiet moments, the soundtrack breathes. So when you get into those fights and the music starts pumping, it's like, there it is. You really start to feel that, which I really appreciated. It's, managing health, managing armor, managing ammo, and managing positioning are the name of the game. And that's pretty much it.
Sick.
If you hold your weapon wheel down or your shield throw, time kind of starts to go slow. I don't know how, I know the other ones did that too. You open up your weapon wheel, it kind of slows down a little bit. I appreciate it, I guess, but also I really like the relentless nature of Doom, know? So I really like that. But yeah, just something I noticed, like slowing down time when things were getting crazy. I was like, okay, let me just hold this to like pause kind of for a second. Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Nice.
Doom the Dark Ages, I am not concerned. I am ready for a GOTY contender. Blood. Abso-freaking-lutely.
Feels like we got a lot of those lately.
Yeah. Yeah, visually.
It's already getting crazy.
Visually, it looked incredible. It ran amazing. They still have a couple months to, iron out some things. They even said that too. They were like, this next month is huge for polish. But the build I played on PC was running 4K 60, and it was glorious. It was absolutely glorious.
Nice.
Yeah. Another thing too, when you like run and just like jump, when you just like land on the ground, if enemies are there and you're high enough, you just explode like shockwave. Like you feel so heavy as the Doomslayer. It's freaking awesome. Yep. Love it.
Sick.
Doom. I'm ready, y'all.
I was trying to see if I could find the date, but I don't have it off the top of my head. But yeah, it's not long. I think it's May or something like that.
May 15th.
15th. There we go.
Oh, it might be a 2-day early access thing or something.
Oh, right. Yeah, I don't have it on that thing anyways.
Yeah. May 15th, 2025, worldwide. So.
Yep.
I'm ready.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Get ready for streams.
I didn't see the footage, but there's a lot of sick footage in there.
Oh my God, yeah.
Check that out. Watch Huber die.
Yes. Yeah, the only footage I was allowed to capture as well, that housekeeping, was that free roam area. That was the last level we played.
Oh.
They said they only wanted us to capture that. They didn't want us to capture the first intro level or the mech or the dragon. So, yeah.
A little weird.
Yeah.
A little weird. I gotta say, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
But okay.
Full disclosure.
Okay.
So, yeah. Again, I'm not concerned.
Thank you so much. We are Easy Allies, doing all kinds of previews and podcasts and streams and stuff. Go check us out at youtube.com/easyallies and twitch.tv/easyallies. And all of it is supported by people just like you, people who just watch what we do and think that is worth supporting and keeping going. So please go to patreon.com/easyallies to chip in $5 or so. And we will see you soon.